Artin and the Stone Trade, the Anchor Charm.
In the heart of a land where the memory of Ahura Mazda still flowed in the air and the tales of legendary merchants were passed down by word of mouth, there lived a young merchant named Artin. With a head full of ambition to possess the very best, he was always in search of a trade that would make his name renowned among the market folk. Artin was a smart and sharp-witted young man. He observed carefully and stuck to his experiences, yet he still had a way to go before reaching true maturity. One day, news spread through the city that a caravan from the east had arrived, bringing with it a precious cargo of rubies. Artin, seeking to add such rare gems to his trading house, rushed immediately to the caravanserai. Before he entered, a friend of his, who considered himself an expert in buying and selling, told him Ariamon, the great merchant of the city, offered 100 gold coins for each stone to one of those eastern merchants, but the offer was refused. This sentence sank into Artin's mind like a heavy anchor. Artin entered the merchant's shop. A man with beady eyes and a sly smile welcomed him. The rubies were arranged on a velvet cloth, their brilliance dazzling the eye. Artin inspected the stones with care. Their quality was unique, but he had no precise concept of their true value. The only number etched into his mind was Ariamon's offer of 100 gold coins, an offer that had been rejected. The Eastern merchant, noticing Artin's fascination with the stones, said quietly, "These rubies come from the finest mines of the East, from the heart of India. The price for each is 130 gold coins." Artin's mind went to work quickly. The anchor of 100 coins had led him to believe that the value of these stones was extremely high. He thought to himself, if Ariamon offered 100 coins and it wasn't accepted, then the real price must be somewhere around there. He considered the merchant's price high, but not unreasonable. Artin began to bargain, employing all his skills. He wanted to make a deal that demonstrated his intelligence, a victory against Ariamon.
After a long negotiation, Artin managed to convince the Eastern man to sell each stone for 106 gold coins, an insignificant difference from Ariamon's supposed offer. Filled with a sense of victory and satisfaction, he bought 20 rubies and headed home with his newfound treasure. All the way back, he thought about his brilliant trade, admiring himself for securing a price lower than the merchant's initial ask. Even Ariamon had not been able to acquire those stones. A few days later, Artin went to the Grand Bazaar to sell the rubies. With pride, he showed the stones to an old and trusted gemologist named Farak the merchant. Farak examined the stones with experienced eyes. After a moment of silence, he turned to Artin and said, "They are beautiful stones, but the real value of each is no more than 80 gold coins." Artin looked at the old man in shock, but the old man's face held no trace of deceit. He was forced to show the stones to several other gemologists, only to hear strange offers: 76 coins, 87, 73, and 84. Suddenly, Artin's world came crashing down. Not only had he made no profit, but he had also lost a significant amount of capital. The anchor his friend had cast in his mind had caused him to base all his subsequent decisions on that initial piece of information. He had clung so tightly to that anchor that he had neglected to investigate further or consult with knowledgeable people. In those days, a girl named Atassa, known for her wisdom and knowledge, heard the story of Artin's trade. Atassa went to Atassa and, after seeing the stones, told him, "Oh, Artin, you have fallen victim to a mental spell. The first news you heard acted like a heavy anchor, keeping your judgment fixed at one point and preventing you from seeing the truth. Our mind tends to rely on the first information it receives, and this can stop us from seeing the true value of things." Artin pondered Atassa's words. He recalled how all his calculations had revolved around Ariamon's 100-coin offer. He hadn't even asked himself if that news was true in the first place. Later, he discovered that his friend had heard the news from an unreliable source, and Ariamon had never made such an offer. This failure became a great lesson for Artin. He learned that in every deal and judgment, he must free his mind from informational anchors. He learned to gather more information before deciding, to consult with different people, and never to rely on the first thing he heard as an undeniable truth. Artin eventually recovered his financial loss,
But more importantly, he gained a treasure far more valuable: awareness of the hidden traps of the mind. He was no longer just a successful merchant, but a more experienced human being who knew that the greatest battles occurred not in crowded markets, but in the battlefield of the human mind. And victory in this battle depends on recognizing and releasing the anchors that hold us back from reaching the shore of truth. Now, it is time for you to look at your own life and strive to recognize the mental anchors that have gotten you into trouble, or will do so in the future, and confront them.